Happy Saturday, everybody. Hopefully, you all are having a great start to the day so far. Uh, this forecast might sound familiar because we have had such a great week here across the Charlotte area. Today is going to be no different. Taking a live view here from some of our sky cams, Monroe, Dallas, Kannapolis. I will tell you, you can see from Dallas how it looks a little bit hazy. That's from some of that smoke, wildfire smoke coming in from the west coast. Essentially, what happens is the smoke, of course, gets carried into the mid and upper levels and then kind of can be swept all the way to the east coast. Vibrant sunrises, vibrant sunsets, often, of course, haze. If it settles closer to the ground, often you can see a little bit of sniffling and sneezing, but it shouldn't be a significant impact for you. Today, of course, once again, rain-free and quiet. We have high pressure overhead, keeping us calm and clear. So I'm really not expecting any significant weather impacts for today. In fact, if you are going to be out and about early this morning, maybe you're already at App State for college game day, or maybe you're trying to watch the game from home, anything like that, it is going to be a picture perfect day for it. So let's give you the hour by hour forecast, right? Because of course, this is the biggest story probably locally across our area today. Tons of sunshine, highs in the upper 60s there by noontime. We're only going to peak in the lower 70s. Now, Boone this morning was in the upper 40s, so it was a touch on the cooler side. So if you're going to be out and about, later on tonight, hopefully enjoying an App State victory, keep that in mind. You might even need a little bit of a light jacket. I would need a jacket with this kind of weather. Maybe other folks don't, but just be aware of that, right? Kicking off your Saturday, of course, gorgeous across the area. We were in the upper 50s and lower 60s this morning. Of course, you can see across the rest of the Piedmont, it is going to be a touch warmer. We're in the mid 80s for most of the area, mostly sunny. Now, today we are going to see a little bit of that additional humidity start to filter in with that east to southeasterly wind shift. You can see a few clouds. I don't expect it to be a lot. We're still mostly cloud free here, but again, a few expected this afternoon. Highs in the mid 80s, so it is going to be really nice here across the area. I really can't stress this enough, but it's such a nice forecast to get outside and enjoy. Again, today will be a little bit more muggy, but I really don't think it's going to be a significant impact. Maybe just not as nice as the past 2 days, but we flip that tomorrow and into Monday. You can see smiles all around if you're trying to get out and about. Now, we are going to take a quick look at the tropics here just to give you an update on what's going on. Tropical storm Fiona, you can see moving through the eastern part of the Caribbean Sea. High resolution satellite definitely showing a stronger tropical storm this morning. If you look really close to the center of circulation, there was a little bit of a burst of convection earlier this morning. Oftentimes it's showing that the storm is starting to strengthen a little bit. Now, there are some things in Fiona's path that could weaken it. Land interaction and high wind shear are going to be two of them. What happens with land interaction is when a storm center moves over any kind of high terrain, the low and kind of gets displaced from the surface, that wind gets displaced. And so storms can oftentimes be weakened completely, ripped apart completely, or just prevented from strengthening or even forming to begin with. Something else that wind shear does as well is it kind of displaces that storm activity. It makes it more lopsided. It shears it away. That's what we call it, wind shear, right? And of course, it can prevent a storm from strengthening, kind of the same dealio. So right now it has 60-mile-per-hour wind. National Hurricane Center's latest forecast track has a potential landfall somewhere around the island of Hispaniola. Of course, the Dominican Republic is looking a little bit more likely, and that would be potentially as early as Sunday night or Monday morning as a low-end Category 1 hurricane with wind around 75 miles an hour. Now, model data pretty consistent, at least in the next 5 days or so, which is where this National Hurricane Center track ends, that the storm would eventually reemerge and be just east there of the Bahamas. Now, past that, I would say that there's more models that agree that it would stay out to sea than that it would shift further west. But we just want to continue to monitor this change. There's expected to be a trough of low pressure, a big cold front across the eastern seaboard that would kind of help deflect Fiona away from the east coast, and then a high or ridge of high pressure that being rated high off the coastline. Now, that little bit of sliver in between could allow Fiona to take this trek northward because storms take the path of least resistance, but we just want to monitor it, right? We know that things can change. Every single little bit of atmospheric change could eventually impact where the storm goes. So I'm pretty confident, and I do agree with the National Hurricane Center in this 5-day forecast cone, but we just especially want to look past that there for any impacts. Even if the storm was off our coast, if it shifted even 50 miles or so west, 100 miles or so west, and stayed off the coastline, that could still mean some kind of impact for the Carolinas in the sense of higher rip currents, dangerous beach conditions, things of that nature, because since we, of course, are coastal states. Oftentimes, we can see the impact even if the storms are far, far away. But of course, we'll continue to monitor. Otherwise, there are two areas of interest in the tropics with a low chance, almost a 0% chance of development. Neither of these systems, even if they formed, would be an impact to us. So you can kind of wipe them away from your memory. Now, let's talk 7-day forecast because we have big changes on the way. Of course, we've talked about a lot about App State today. Lots of sunshine. We know highs in the 70s there, 80s in Charlotte. But look at this 7-day forecast. There's big, big things coming. First things first, uh, Tuesday through Sunday, President's Cup at Quail Hollow. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it is going to be hot. Now, humidity still stays low on Tuesday, but we're going to start to see a small change, small uptick in the humidity Wednesday, Thursday. It is not going to be oppressive like what we had during the summertime, but when you have that high around 92, 93, and it's going to be more humid, it will feel stickier outside. So just a reminder there, of course, to stay hydrated. Uh, Autumnal equinox is on Thursday, so the first day of astronomical fall. It's going to be a toasty one. However, this cold front that's kind of creating our warm up, we have what's called warm air advection ahead of that frontal boundary, which is why we're expected to be in the 90s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This will mean a reinforcing shot of cooler air by Friday and into next weekend. So if you see this forecast and you're like, Brittany, I am so mad at you. It was so nice the past few days. Humidity was low, highs were in the 80s. I apologize, but we have to have the warm up in order to get the additional cool down. So models have definitely been trending drier for next weekend because they previously did have some rain in the forecast. We've been trending drier and cooler, and again with that shot of low humidity. So stay tuned, of course, for any updates on that forecast if we have to bring in some rain chances. But at least for now, it looks hot and dry on Tuesday, a little bit more muggy Wednesday, Thursday, and then a lot cooler as we head into next weekend. Of course, you know that here at WCNC Charlotte, we are going to have updates for you on the weather over the next few days, and of course, full coverage on the President's Cup. I'm super excited. I'm going to be back on the morning show. You know, I was there for a few weeks when Chris was on paternity leave. I'll be there Thursday, Friday to do some live weather hits from Quails Hollow. So we are going to have a great week ahead, and the weather will be nice, regardless, of course, of how hot it gets. The one thing I do want to just mention, and we're going to talk about it more coming up and kind of see how it does kind of shake out. But with this dry stretch, there is a small chance that by the end of next week, we could be talking some elevated fire danger if the wind starts to pick up just because of how dry we have been locally. But of course, you can trust that we're going to have a lot more coverage on that coming up. For now, I'm going to leave you with enjoy the weekend. Try to get outside if you can. Enjoy the nice weather. Very, very thankful for you watching this live stream and always watching Wake Up Charlotte Weekend. We will be back tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m. Hope to see you then. Have a happy and safe weekend and send us lots of weather pics if you do get them. Have a great day and go App State.